ezi onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, Chukwu okike abịa ma bụ onye anyị na-efe na-agọzi aha nsọ ya, onye ọbụla na ya na-achị, onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-erubere isi, onye ọbụla na ya bụ ọka aka. Ụbọchị ene ka anyị na-etugha eze ebube dị ngọzi, mmalite na ọgwụgwụ. Ndị gboo wee tụọ oge ebighị ebi, onye nwe m, ụmụ gị wee gbakọọ n'ụwa niile iwe nara ozi ọma nke gị onwe gị n'ezi ha site n'ọnụ mmadụ dị ndụ na nke ebere dị ngọzi. Anyị wee na-asị na onweghị ihe ọbụla nke anyị onwe anyị bụ n'ihi na ọ bụ anụkwa ahụ sọsọ ka mmadụ dị ndụ bụ. Ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ, maka na okwu nsọ gị na-adịgị ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi, n'ihi na okwu gị niile ga-abịarịrị na mmezu. Ọ bịa mere Biafra ga-eji wee bịa na mgbe nke anyị. Anyị wee na-akpọkụ wee na-arịọ gị na-asị, lekwa ude nke anyị na-asụ n'akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka o metụta gị n'obi. Onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe, biko dịka isi wee napụta ụmụ gị n'ọbụ n'Ijipt, gotu ọgbe wezuga ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra mgbodo ekwensu bụ zuu nke mmadụ dị ndụ kere. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, na-asị gị n'ime ọnọdụ anyị na anyị ga-ekele ya ha nsọ gị, wee nye gị nsọpụrụ ụtọ na eji ama mgbe niile, n'ihi na anyị enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị. Anyị nwe anyị anaghị efe arụsị. Ọbịa mere iji wee na-agọzi nzọmụkwụ anyị niile. Ọbịa mere IPOB ji wee gbaa mgbọrọgwụ n'ụwa niile. Anyị anaghị atụ egwu mmadụ dị ndụ. Anyị wee na-eto gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, sị gị biko gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye anyị refe nwanyị bụ isi ala nye, ka i wee napụta ndị gị n'ọbụ nke ekwensu. Anyị wee na-enye gị ofe na nsọpụrụ na ija mma, na-asị lekwa ka ndị iro anyị niile ka kasị wee baa ha ọnụ, ha wee daa hapụghị ikuni ọzọ. Obodo ekwensu bụ zu ala nwekwa n'ihi eze ebube dị ngọzi. Anyị onwe anyị bụ ụmụ gị wee na-akpọkọ ha nsọ gị, na-asị na enweghị chi ọzọ egwezuga gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, wee na-eto gị, na-asị onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana onwe onye kere na n'otuto niile na nsọpụrụ niile na ịja mma niile site n'ebighị ebi, mara onye bi ka na-arịọ gị. Ise ise ise.
Thank you so much, Onye Ndumazi Nnamdi Kanu. Ise, ise, ise. Lovers of freedom and fellow Biafrans, I greet you all. And I want to appreciate you all that are standing firm, that are resolute. It hasn't been possible for me to come live since morning, but it can only get better. Our worst days are over. Chukwu okike abịa ma pụrụ ime ihe niile will always be there for us. And so no matter what happens, we will always stand firm. Tonight, I know every one of us are already aware of what happened in Australia today. What happened in Australia today is the same thing that we have been talking about and we are fighting against. The hatred they have for the Jewish people, the same hatred they have for Biafrans, the same hatred they have for Christians. The same people, the same set of people that are after the Jews, they are the same people after the Biafrans. They are the same people after the Christians. But we thank Chukwu Kabiama, who have raised a man in the person of Donald J. Trump, who has been raised in such a time as this to bring an end, because he is the perfect instrument that God has raised, that the Redeemer himself have raised. I'm sorry, that is life, yeah? Sorry, madam, sorry. Okay, madam, sorry. So the perfect instrument that the Redeemer have raised to bring an end to all our fears. Do you know what these enemies of righteousness, these enemies of Christianity, these enemies of Biafra, these enemies of truth, do you know what they want to end up doing? They want to end up putting fear in every one of us, so that we cowardly surrender unto them, so that they will have their way. The reason why they massacre the way they do, the reason why they destroy the way they do, is because they want to be very ruthless, so that everybody will now fear them. That is not the solution. Being afraid of them is not the solution. The solution is confronting them headlong. Now look at all the nations that have been very sympathetic to them. They are the same nation they are going after. Australia, Canada, and UK were the first countries to recognize the state of Palestine. They were the first. And who are the ones suffering the brutal attack of these same people they recognized? Australia, Canada, and UK. UK is not recognizable anymore, except if the patriots there will rise up and do the needful. Australia were very quick to recognize Hamas. Look at what happened in Australia. The Prime Minister of Australia, before now, to even mention Jewish from his mouth was a problem. Look at what happened there today. And you know what actually baffles me? There are some senseless, bigoted idiots that are so deceived to think that because the man that confronted one of the terrorists and took the gun from him, his name is Ahmad al-Ahmad. Now, because he is Ahmad al-Ahmad, that is to show you that we are good people. This same man was recognized by the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. He praised the man. He said only one Muslim man was able, because that one is a man that have humanity in him. It doesn't change the fact that the people that committed the crime were Islamic terrorists, not Christian terrorists. Islamic. That's what they are all over the world. That's what they are. Anywhere you see this kind of thing happen, it's still the same people. We know that there are some of them that are have humanity in them, that can rise up and tell you, this is not written in our book, this is not what we believe, but it doesn't change the fact that that is actually what is written in their book. It doesn't change the fact that that is actually what they were recommended or commanded to do. But the one that gives us the edge right now in this time and day, Donald J. Trump, the one that have been raised to put an end to this fear. We are no longer slaves to fear. Excuse me. And we must not surrender to their threats. Because when they go about massacring and conquering to conquer, they just want us to admit and allow them to have that superior power over us. For us to surrender to their threat and allow them have their way. No. They must be nipped on the bud. They must be stopped. We are no longer slaves to fear. We are children of the Most High. I'm going to play a special number which happened to be one of my best songs. I'll play it from another singer, not the original one. The original one has a very strong copyright. I don't know. But just those of you that knows that song, or those of you that know me from 10 years, 8 years, 9 years ago, you will know how I appreciate this song. Especially those of you on Facebook. I am no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. After this song, I will bring out some updates, and then we'll see how we'll go from there. Thank you. That was powerful. That's even more than the original one. Okay. Even this one, even this one that I was thinking is better. It has even stronger copyright. Anyway, I had to do what I was led to do. I don't know if the stream is back. I don't know if the stream is back on YouTube, because they say it was YouTube just sent me a message that due to copyright match, the stream was interrupted. Video title Donald J. Trump Instrument interrupted. Hope they didn't give us strike, I don't think they gave us strike, but the stream was interrupted. Hope the stream is back now. hope the stream is back now. I would really want to have my own song to sing this song because I love that song. I am no longer a slave to fear. I'm no longer a slave to fear. The reason why this song came to me tonight is because I know what these enemies of our freedom, I know what they are up to. I know what they are doing. I know what they can do. They will do anything to put us in the mood of fear and surrender. They will do anything. They will do anything to put us in the mood of fear and surrender. They just want us to cow out, to bow to their pressure. How can you go where people are having a feast, a holy feast of their own belief that doesn't hurt or harm anyone? And then you've planned for them to go there today, means they have been planning it for a long time. And they went there and they were shooting. I saw a video of more than 11 minutes of that attack. They were shooting, they were taking them out one by one. The way they were determined to shoot, they really wanted to take out more than 100 people. If not for the intervention that came eventually, even though the intervention came late, yet they couldn't have the number of casualties they wanted to have. But what did they want to succeed in doing? To put fear. And because of that fear, they have succeeded in putting in some people in some major cities in this world right now. They have cancelled some Christmas festivity and Christmas celebration. This holiday where people have their festivity, Christians have theirs, the Jewish people have theirs. Because of these fanatics, these hardline Islamic terrorists, some of these festivities have been cancelled in Germany, in places. Christmas market have been closed in Germany for fear. In India, a lot, and they are closing down a lot of things, and there is threat for the lives of people. Ask me why. Why is it always then going after people that didn't do them anything? Let me bring you some videos before I will bring the main video I have today. Before I bring the main video I have for today, I want to bring you this video from one of the leading figures in the United Arab Emirates that spoke about the carnage that happened today.
Celebrating.
Yeah, that spoke about the carnage that happened today. So terrible. And anyone that doesn't stand up against this must be a very cruel person. Now listen to this. This man is a Muslim, a very leading figure, Islamic person from UAE. Listen to him.
What happened in Australia should have shattered any remaining illusions. No more. A Jewish community gathering celebrating Hanukkah was attacked. Civilians, families, a religious holiday. And once again, the Jewish community were targeted simply for being Jews. This is not a protest. This was not a political expression. It was literally terrorism. The most dangerous lie we keep telling ourselves is that these attacks are isolated or spontaneous, random, disconnected from a wider ideology. They are not. They are part of a global pattern driven by the Muslim Brotherhood-derived extremism, an ideology that survives, spreads, and kills wherever it is excused. Yet some people want to call it the boogeyman. It's something like it doesn't exist, even though it's getting banned in Florida and in Texas. This is the same ideological ecosystem that produced Hamas. the same one that has embedded itself inside the SAF in Sudan, the same network that has been backed, exploited, and weaponized by Iran. And speaking of Sudan, is no longer just a civil war, it is being shaped into a future terror hub, where what you saw in Australia is just the beginning. This terror hub built on weapons flows, financing routes, ideological infrastructure. We have seen this movie before. We know how it ends. This pattern never changes. First, the ideology is normalized. Then the rhetoric is excused. Then warnings are dismissed as exaggeration. And finally, everyone acts shocked when civilians are murdered and killed in front of their own families.
Warnings are ignored, exaggerated. They don't take warning serious. There's a lot, just like Mazin Namdekano had been warning about this Fulani issue in Nigeria. Everybody say, even some people from Igbo land, they say he's a fearmonger, he's a terrorist, he's the one that is terrorizing people. He's Fulani are not are very innocent. Even Soludo, a governor in Biafra land, opened his gutter, God-forsaken mouth, and said that 199.9999% of what is happening in Biafra land are being perpetrated by Biafrans. And now the realities are coming out. Are you seeing it? So you just wave them out, you wave them out. Now the realities are out. To the extent America is the one now intervening in what's happening in Nigeria. Are you following it? Exactly what this man is saying. They call it a boogeyman. They say it doesn't, these people are just lying. Some of them, they say Israel is a terrorist country. They are occupying, all those nonsense.
Those financing routes, ideological infrastructure. We have seen this movie before. We know how it ends. This pattern never changes. First, the ideology is normalized. Then the rhetoric is excused. Then warnings are dismissed as exaggeration. And finally, everyone acts shocked when civilians are murdered and killed in front of their own families. Even in the United States, like I said, this reality is being confronted. Florida and Texas have moved to ban or restrict Muslim Brotherhood linked entities, recognizing what too many governments still refuse to admit. You cannot fight terrorism while protecting the ideology that produces it. Violence against civilians has no justification. Not in Australia, not in US, not in Sudan, not anywhere. Terrorism thrives on silence. It feeds on moral inconsistency.
Terrorism thrives what? On silence. If you are silent, you are just giving them the fuel for them to continue.
Yes, not in Sudan, not anywhere. Terrorism thrives on silence. It feeds on moral inconsistency. And it grows when people are too afraid to name the problem clearly.
It grows when people are too afraid to name the problems clearly. There's a Muslim man talking to you right now from the UAE. It grows when you fail to name them clearly. Just like today, we are talking about the Christian genocide by Fulani terrorists. Some people are saying, no, it's not. Even Christians are denying it. When you don't name it clearly, you are giving them their power to breed, to grow.
Jews are always targeted first, but never last. History proves this again and again. So this is the moment for clarity. The Muslim Brotherhood must be condemned. Its networks must be dismantled, and its ideology must be banned, not rebranded, not excused, not even tolerated. Calling terrorism by its name is not extremism. It is responsibility, because Muslim Brotherhood ideology is everyone's problem. And pretending otherwise is how we guarantee the next attack. The United Arab Emirates, one of the first Muslim Arab country to condemn this attack. You know why? Because we know who we're dealing with. We know these people thrive on killing and murder. They are a people of war. There's not even war. They just try to kill every civilian they see, every family they see in front of them. What is the fault of the people who are trying to celebrate Hanukkah, or the people who are just trying to live in peace? There is no fault in that. There is no wrong in doing that. Yet they have sent two of their killers to kill. My condolences to the families, and I wish a swift recovery to the people who were injured but still breathing. And we stand firmly with the Australian people and the victims.
All right. Thank you. I want to bring you a video that will show you the perpetrators actually of this evil. First, before I bring you that video, let me bring you a message from Benjamin Netanyahu that he spoke. Benjamin Netanyahu actually called the Australian president immediately after October 7, and immediately after the man acknowledged Palestine. He called him and told him, this thing you are doing, you are going to increase the anti-Semitism in Australia. You are giving them the wing to flow. You are encouraging evil. And the man didn't listen to Benjamin Netanyahu. Now the blood of the people that died today, they are on the hands of the Australian Prime Minister and their parliaments that never listened to warnings. Listen to Benjamin Netanyahu, and then I'm going to show you how Barack Obama and the rest of them actually, knew about all this evil. A lot of things that was known was exposed. They covered them all up. They wanted to stop Trump, and they never knew that Trump was an instrument, the redeemer that Chukwu Kabiama have raised up to put an end to this evil. Let's listen to Bibi Netanyahu, and then we'll go and listen to that exposition that exposed Obama and the rest of them.
On August 17th, about 4 months ago, I sent Prime Minister Albanese of Australia a letter in which I gave him warning that the Australian government's policy was promoting and encouraging anti-Semitism in Australia. I wrote, your call for a Palestinian state pours full fuel on the anti-Semitic fire. It rewards Hamas terrorism. It emboldens those who menace Australian Jews and encourages the Jew hatred now stalking your streets. Anti-Semitism is a cancer. It spreads when leaders stay silent. It retreats when leaders act. I call upon you to replace weakness with action, appeasement with resolve. Instead, Prime Minister, you replaced weakness with weakness and appeasement with more appeasement. Your government did nothing to stop the spread of anti-Semitism in Australia. You did nothing to curb the cancer cells that were growing inside your country. You took no action. You let the disease spread. And the result is the horrific attacks on Jews we saw today. We saw an action of a brave man, turns out a Muslim brave man, and I salute him, that stopped one of these terrorists from killing innocent Jews. But it requires the action of your government, which you're not taking. And you have to, because history will not forgive hesitation and weakness. It will honor action and strength. That's what Israel expects of each of your governments in the West and elsewhere, because the disease spreads and it will consume you as well. But we are worrying right now about our people, our safety, and we do not remain silent. We fight those who try to annihilate us. They're not only trying to annihilate us, they attack us because they attack the West. In Syria, We saw yesterday 2 American soldiers killed and 1 American interpreter killed as well, killed because they represent our common culture. Now, as a result of this, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth said the following. He said, "Let it be known that if you target Americans anywhere in the world, you will spend the rest of your brief, anxious life knowing the United States will hunt you, find you, and ruthlessly kill you." We send our condolences to the people of America, and I want to say that our policy is exactly that policy. That's why those who target Israelis, target our soldiers, try to kill them or try to hurt them and wound them, as happened in Gaza yesterday, we take action. They will spend the rest of their brief, anxious lives knowing that Israel will hunt them, find them, and ruthlessly dispose of them. That is American policy. This is Israel's policy. It's our policy in Gaza, in Lebanon, anywhere around us. We do not sit by and let these killers kill us.
Did you hear that? We do not sit by and let these killers kill us. Nobody sits by and lets murderous killers take their lives. No. We in Biafra land are doing the same to defend ourselves. And they call us terrorists. You can call us terrorists all you want, but we will defend ourselves. Now I want you to watch this, honestly.
Obama's deal
show you how terrible the Democratic Party are. Watch this.
was a global crime cartel. Obama's DOJ covered it up, McCabe blocked the FBI, and White Hats just dropped the proof that will bring the whole damn house down. The trap is sprung, the timeline is exposed now, and the criminals are cornered. Declassified files prove treason by the Obama administration, the FBI, the DOJ, and the global elite's deep state machine. Hillary Clinton ran a criminal empire disguised as a charity, pulling in billions from foreign enemies, oligarchs, defense contractors, and globalist cabals. FBI field agents were closing in, but Obama's DOJ ordered it all shut down. Andrew McCabe gave the kill order.
Obama, let's allow him to repeat it again. Obama's people ordered it to shut down. Something was found out, some things were leaked. Obama said they should shut it down. Now, let him repeat that.
Globalist cabals. FBI field agents were closing in, but Obama's defense contractors and global charity, pulling in billions from foreign enemies, oligarchs, defense contractors, and globalist cabals. FBI field agents were closing in.
FBI field agents were closing in on these cabals. FBI field agents were what? Closing in on these cabals.
But Obama's DOJ ordered it all shut down.
They ordered them to shut it down.
Andrew McCabe gave the kill order. No subpoenas, no informants, no evidence. Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates sent the email, quote, shut it down. Not pause, not delay, shut it down. This was never justice. It was a firewall for the cabal. White Hats documented every move, every cover-up, every act of treason. They captured the emails. They intercepted the calls. They archived the evidence. And they waited for the right moment. President Trump's return to power unleashed devolution-era intelligence. Files buried under Obama and Biden are exploding into the open. Arrests are already happening behind the scenes. Military oversight has reactivated the Clinton probe. This is no longer DOJ corruption. This is national security. The Clinton Foundation was never a charity. It was a laundering hub for global elites. They funneled bribes, paid off the media, fueled regime change wars, and ran trafficking pipelines. Obama's DOJ blocked subpoenas. Biden's campaign coordinated with foreign intel. CIA assets silenced the press. The UN and the World Health Organization shielded their crimes. It all collapsed once the White Hats flipped the system. Remember, President Trump's words, quote, "They're not after me, they're after you, and I'm just in the way." They tried to buy him, they couldn't. They tried to destroy him and failed. Now tribunals are coming. Treason, sedition, crimes against humanity, financial fraud, election interference, public tribunals will shake the rafters of this world. Nothing can stop what is coming.
Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing can stop what is coming. The only thing that can stop them is Donald J. Trump. The truth confronting this darkness will stop it. I'm telling you, the only way it cannot be stopped is if we do nothing. But confronting them headlong is going to stop it. Believe you me, it's going to stop it. It's going to stop it. Yeah, there's so many updates we should be seeing here. I want to show you some of them. You know, I have played this before, but I will play it again on this platform. These warnings came from people that know them very well, and those that feel they want to be politically correct kept ignoring them, kept ignoring the warnings that came from people like this. Listen to him.
And let me say this in English so you can understand what I'm saying.
I have translation.
No, I know you have translation, but I just want to make sure you get it right. There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of the lack of decision-making, trying to be politically correct, or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others far better than we do. And I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance. And let me say this in English so you can understand what I'm saying.
I have translation.
No, I know you have translation, but I just want to make sure you get it right. There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of the lack of decision-making.
And those days are down. Are you not seeing those days? Are you not seeing them? For lack of decision-making, you see them rising up in Australia, in England, in France. In fact, you've not even seen anything yet. If actions are not taken now, consciously, oh my God.
Terrorists coming out of Europe because of the lack of decision-making, trying to be politically correct, or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others far better than we do. And I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance.
That's pure ignorance. Now, for our information, good things are about to start happening for us, especially those of us in Biafra and for our freedom. Updates will be coming very soon. You know, good news. Just keep your minds, ready, because it can only get better. Some of the signals I'm getting is very, very impressive. In the few days ahead, you'll be hearing it and you'll be happy. The encouragement I'll have for you is make sure you remain on this side of the divide. Do not allow anything to distract you, especially those of you in Briggy. Make sure you are paying attention to me. Make sure you are paying attention to me. Yes, in my capacity in delivering you information from Briggy. Make sure you are paying attention to this platform. We don't just come out to make content or to make people hear something. We come out when it is completely important and there is need for it. Our Prime Minister is doing very well. and things are taking shape. Just keep your ears close to this platform, and fantastic, news is going to come, and we're about to recover everything we seem to have lost, all those distractions that have happened, all these efulefus that have come to distract us, just in a few days, you will understand it better. We are going to regroup, and then we are going to face these enemies headlong. The PM is ready, and then good news is coming. Just keep your hearts ready for that good news, and make sure you are with us. Don't be distracted, though, because if you are distracted, you won't even know when we'll take off. It's just like the 5 virgins that were wise and the other 5 that were foolish. Make sure you are not a foolish virgin at this time of our movement. Make sure you are not a foolish virgin. Very, very important. By the time I bring this news, you will hear it. Okay, so let me bring you these 2 other videos, and then I'll get you one from Mazio Culture, who did a very fantastic program today, and I will call it a night. Hold on, listen to this. This is very, 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 very important something. All right, let's go.
Muslim Brotherhood.
It's kind of a 100-year plan, and
Correct.
we're 50 years in.
Correct.
What's the worst case scenario the next 50 years?
So, Jordan just banned the Muslim Brotherhood. The UAE has banned the Muslim Brotherhood. Our leaders, for 2 pieces of silver, have sold out our basic values and our basic institutions. Qatar is giving more money to British education, to American universities, than any country in the world. It's to use. The Qataris are starting to fund people like Tucker Carlson.
We know that for sure.
Yes, we do. And because the radical left wants to get rid of Western hegemony, the Islamists who want to destroy Western hegemony have this bizarre common cause. We call it the Red Green Alliance, to destroy their own country, their own culture. And it's terrifying.
What would it take to make them start to listen?
We are sleeping through the revolution. It's time for us to wake up.
It's time for us to wake up for our own good if we wake up. Let me play you another video, and then
terrorism, including the Christians that are still being slaughtered.
all right.
My last post before bed was how American women are being conditioned to embrace burlap sacks. Then I woke up seeing that it is the first day of Hanukkah and Islamic terrorists just gunned down dozens of Jewish people in Australia. Are you ready to talk about the Islamic agenda or not? Their religion calls for violence against non-Muslims over 100 times in the Quran, specifying to disgrace and slaughter those who do not submit to Allah. So why are we pretending to be shocked that this religion sets the moral framework for terrorism, including the Christians that are still being slaughtered by jihadists in Nigeria? Globalize the Intifada includes taking over your rights too. And after years of anti-Israel propaganda being spread, all it has done has paved the way for religious persecution. So Jews, as you celebrate Hanukkah, arm yourselves and learn how to defend yourselves, because the reality is that you may need to spring into action. No more hiding. This isn't the Holocaust. During this era, we are going to fight back and defend the world from radicalization. My last post before...
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. There's a post that, okay, this one is also important. There's a, wow. Hello. And this Muslim lady actually says something quite interesting.
What?
As some people are doing damage control, very smart and intelligent people are debunking them. Some Muslims actually are debunking them and telling you that, look, these terrorists are Muslims and they are terrorists.
I am a Muslim, I'm an Arab, and today I stand with the Jewish community in Australia. What happened was not a misunderstanding, it was anti-Semitism, it was terrorism. This kind of hate grows when extremists is allowed space and incitement is ignored. The ideology behind the attack is linked to a Muslim Brotherhood-led movement. The same ideology driven the army committing crimes in Sudan. Different place but the same thinking. In the UAE, anti-Semitism is a crime. Extremism is stopped early. This is how society stays safe. Standing with the Jewish community is not politics, it's humanity. I stand with the victim, I stand against terrorism. I am a...
Obviously, you know, but you see people telling you, hey, they're Muslim, they're not all of them. Now look at this story, look at this write-up. This is the face of the man that did this shooting today. And I want to bring this write-up to you so that you will understand, you know, who are these people and why are some shameless people defending this carnage and this evil. Look at this. Let me see. All right, this is better. Look at this. The Nice attack, Muslim. Paris attack, Muslims. The shoe bomber, Muslim. Orlando attack, Muslim. The Beltway sniper, Muslims. The Fort Hood shooter, Muslim. The underwear bomber, Muslim. The Westminster attack, Muslim. The 25 Bali bombings, Muslims. The murder of Lee Rigby, Muslim. The USS Cole bomber, Muslim. The London Bridge attack, Muslim. The Madrid train bomber, Muslims. The Charlie Hebdo attacks, Muslims. San Bernardino's attack, Muslims. The Sarabaya bombings, Muslims. The Minnesota Mall stabbings, Muslims. The 77 bombers, Muslims. The Moscow theater attackers, Muslims. The Boston Marathon bombers, Muslims. The Ankara airport attack, Muslims. The Manchester Arena bombing, Muslims. The Pan Am 103 bombers, Muslims. The Iranian embassy takeover, Muslims. The Air France hijackers, Muslims. The 22 Bali nightclub, Muslims. The Bata Mena attacks, Muslims. The Beirut embassy bombers, Muslims. The Libya USA embassy attack, Muslims. The Yazdi massacre of 2014, Muslims. The beheading of French priests, Muslims. The Buenos Aires bombers, Muslims. The Israeli Olympic team, Muslims. The Kenya US embassy, Muslims. The Koba Tower bombers, Muslims. The Beirut marine bombers, Muslims. The Bessian school attackers, Muslims. The first World Trade Center bombers, Muslims. The beheading of Daniel Pearl, Muslims. The Aka Lara hijackers, Muslims. The Bombay attackers, Muslims. The 9/11 hijackers, Muslims. These are the ones that they recorded. They have not even mentioned all the ones that are happening in Benue, in Plateau, most of the ones that are happening in other parts of the world. They all are Muslims. And then somebody will tell you, this is a peaceful religion, this is a peaceful, this is not a... Anyone they deceive with their propaganda, sorry for you. Big sorry for you. Now, let's quickly go to the one that a little bit concerns us more. Let me bring a video done by our brother Marcelo Kocher today. I know a lot of us have watched it because it has gathered a lot of views, but we need to play it on this platform because this our brother is doing fantastically well. A lot is doing. And the title is said, Nigeria may be forced to surrender to Sharia Caliphate. Nigeria may be forced to surrender. Let's hear what Marcel had to say on this.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sunday, the 14th day of December 2025. Thanks for joining me in this video. We are going to look into the principles of infiltration in this video, and this video could be one of the most important videos you have ever watched today. But before we go into that, because these principles of infiltration is the third principle that the jihadists and all these terrorists are using to conquer Nigeria. Last 2 days, I talked about the first principle and the second principle, which is Ahudabiya and Takia. But today, I'm talking about the principles of infiltration, and you will be surprised to understand that even in your school, in your church, in the government offices, in the military, everywhere, these terrorists are already there. If you understand the principles of infiltration, you will understand why Afghanistan was falling to Taliban. They did not kill the Afghan soldiers. Now, before we go into that properly, just stay with me. It was in the news yesterday that Fulani herdsmen cut off teenage girl's hand in Kaduna after family rejected marriage proposal. They met this girl endurance and they wanted the mother to give this teenage girl, she's not adult, to them for marriage. But the family rejected that. This is just a little girl. We can't give it out to marriage, for marriage. So they now hunt for the girl and cut off the girl's hand. And nobody's reacting. Nobody's talking. You know why? This is the barbarian culture that Nigeria is embracing. And don't say that you are not part of the people that is embracing it, because your silence speaks loud. Your silence is one of the reasons why all these things are going on. Now, we'll come into that later. Let us quickly shift into the principles of infiltration. Let me give you just a brief story. In Afghanistan, I studied the history of Afghanistan. They were not that a Sharia state. The women were living peacefully, freely. I mean freely. You can wear your clothes like normal human beings do wear, and so on and so forth. But at the time, these people started planning to conquer Afghanistan, to turn it into the Taliban kind of state that it is today. That is a complete Sharia state. So the American government, because they were violating human rights, had to come to Afghanistan. They started helping people fighting these terrorists. So these terrorists saw that Takia will not work because of the presence of America supporting the Afghanistan soldiers. Just like Boko Haram, ISWAP, all these terrorists are fighting Nigerian military, and US will come and help Nigeria to fight them, okay? So it started like that. So after some time, these people understand that Takia will not work. The principles of peace deal, that is Abu Dhabi, will not work in Afghanistan. So what they did is to invent the principles of infiltration, and that is what is going on in Nigeria. I want you to pay attention to this video. So these principles of infiltration, the Taliban, this group of terrorists, today they don't call them terrorists again because they have taken over the government. So this group of terrorists then said, we can't defeat these people just by shooting, attacking them directly, going to full-blown war, but we are going to do it little by little. So the war was going on little by little. Today they will attack, they will retreat. They will attack, they will retreat. So they started sending their people into the Afghanistan military. The US, they were paying Afghanistan military huge amount of money to boost their morale, to fight terrorism. So they started infiltrating to the military. So as they enter into the Afghanistan military, they were not just loud about it. Nobody knows because it's just a normal civilian trying to join Afghanistan army. So they entered, they did not, react immediately. They were patient, strategic, and these principles of infiltration remains the focus. They started, gaining ranks. They started becoming general, commander in Afghanistan army, in their military. The US was paying them. Nobody knows that these people are collaborating with the Taliban. So after these people have gained power, these people, they were patient. It took years for these people to rise to the position of authority in Afghanistan. And after they have risen, you know what happened? The D-Day came. They struck harder. They went offensive against the Afghanistan soldiers backed by US forces. You know what happened? They did not kill the Afghanistan soldiers. Imagine you are in the war front, your commandant will call you, hello, withdraw, surrender. They were surrendering. Why? Because the Taliban were already in the army and taking control of the army. So US saw that, oh, this is a collusion. US had to leave. That is what is going on in Nigeria. Time will come, you will hear that Sokoto has fallen. Oh, we are pushing back from Kano State. Oh, Kano has been captured. We are pushing back. Borno has been captured. Sokoto, down there, they will go to Katsina. They will come to Kebbi. Oh, they are already in Niger State to let us pull back. Air Force from Abuja is moving. No, the Air Force has been interrupted. One Air Force shut down. Look at Abuja has been captured. They will declare Caliphate Republic. Oh, it's only from the north. People from the south will say, oh, it is okay. No, it is not now. They have been with their Sharia since. Let them go. Oh, they enter Kwara. What are they doing in Kwara State? They enter Oyo State. Oyo State has been captured. Oh, they have entered Edo State from Kogi State. Kogi and Edo State have been captured. They're already in Enugu State. You see, we understand the principles of infiltration very well. This is what is playing out now. And a lot of people do not understand this principle. Someone will come out and tell you that they want one Nigeria, that they want Nigeria to work. But that is a deception. They don't know that they want Nigeria. They don't want one Nigeria, they want a Sharia state. But they will come and lie to you that they are fighting for one Nigeria, they want one Nigeria, just for them to get to where they are going before they will strike. How many people can understand these principles of infiltration? But we do. And Muhammadu Buhari was not hiding it during his administration. These principles of infiltration started in 2012 in Nigeria, when Boko Haram, started violently declaring Sharia in the north. They said they want Sharia state, that Christians should leave the north. It happens in 2012. You can go and Google what I'm saying. So at that moment, they started infiltrating the Nigerian army. But when Muhammadu Buhari came, you know what he did? He said, de-radicalize the Boko Haram and put them into the army. That was the principles of infiltration. So we were laughing. We want people that, you see this thing, these people, they don't mind. It could take like 100 years. You will die. They will fight your children. They will defeat them if nothing is being done today. So I'm going to tell you the simple solution to all these things, but pay attention. You see, inducting terrorists into the army in the name you de-radicalize them is one of the most stupid things any sensible human being can comprehend. Okay, now there are a lot of people today in the Nigerian army through repentant Boko Haram process, and there are hundreds of thousands of them again who are still in the armed forces. These people were normal civilians who are Boko Haram, who are terrorists. They went there, they bought from, they enter Normandy, they are also in the army. About a week ago, the Nigerian aircraft, something happened to it. We got the intel, I reported it, that this plane was attacked by ISWAP. They said that the plane fell down and the pilots ejected as usual. So up till now, the government refused to release the black box. The black box of the plane is what you will use to know what happened to that plane. So this is not a dark age to say you don't know what happened to the plane. The plane was shot down by ISWAP. Probably they thought they were coming to attack them. The people have the capacity to do this, and they are doing it. Now, some people are claiming that no, the plane developed fault, calm down. It's different. If the plane developed fault, then the pilot will do emergency landing. Military aircraft does not just develop fault and it will just fall like that. It's either there is, they use technology to bring it down, they program it to crash, to kill. It is the same thing that happened to former chief of army staff. They blow the plane up. Even the plane has landed on the wrong way. They bomb it. And they said the plane crashed. Release the black box for people to know what happened to the plane. They did not release it. So this war is going on smoothly because the terrorists are everywhere. Your Minister of Defense, look at every accusation coming. His own governor said he's a terrorist. His SA said he's a terrorist. He built a house for Bello Tuji. He bought houses for them. He bought guns for them, everything. The terrorist himself has come out to declare that, yes, this man is lying. He really built a house for us. He bought car for us. And he's your Minister of Defense. And the DSS cleared him to become the Minister of Defense. No, that is the principles of infiltration. These people are already in the DSS everywhere. Why did the DSS clear someone who is sponsoring terrorists? The principles of infiltration. Time will come in Nigeria. I want you to always save these videos. Time will come. You will hear that a war started. These people will go offensive and military will be surrendering. Look at what happened in St. Mary's School. The children are also in the bush. They kidnapped 300 and something children, and they are still in the bush as I speak to you now. And these children, let me tell you, helicopter was up when they were kidnapping them in Nigeria. This is a government-sponsored terrorism. Do you see how swift they went to Cotonou to just capture these people? The people who wanted to overthrow the government, they neutralized them, and they bring back the power swiftly. And you are telling me that that kind of government don't know where 300 persons were kept. Up till now, they released 100 and left with 200 and something. And the National Security Advisor have the cause to tell the world that the people in the captivity are doing fine. Nigerians think this is the principles of infiltration. All these people there are working hand in hand with the terrorists. They are terrorists themselves. You can deceive the gullible ones, the gullible Nigerians, not me. Not me. I spent time studying all these things. I spent time understanding what is actually going on in Nigeria. I spent time to understand why Boko Haram, why SWAP, why Wudu, why Nakurawa, why bandits. I spent time to know why. And the why is all about turning Nigeria into a Sharia state. This is no longer a confidential something. This is what everybody knows right now. And the thing is going on through three processes. They use takia, they can come and lie to you that this is this, but that is not. The second one, they use the principles of Hudabiya. Hudabiya is peace treaty. They enter peace treaty with people to expand. If they put one of their neck, they see they can't conquer you now, they enter peace treaty. For them to equip more and attack, enter peace treaty. So that is the principle of Hudabiya. Then the third one is the principles of infiltration. All of them are in play. All of them are in play in this country. You might not understand what I'm saying, but those who are doing this understands what I'm saying. And they know that some information that I just passed through is even a threat more than fighter jets to them. Because if you don't know what is going on, you become, a victim, even though the thing has not directly happened to you. You're already a victim because you don't know. So look at what is going on in Nigeria. Look at the situation, and every sensible human being today will also think that military, police can solve Nigeria problem. One day you will have a president and will solve Nigeria problem. I am laughing. You don't understand. If you understand principles of infiltration, you will not say that a president can solve Nigeria problem at this point. If you understand principles of infiltration, you will not say that maybe Nigerian soldiers tomorrow can go and fight. Former Speaker House of Rep just told you that Boko Haram is SWAP, all these terrorists, they bought form to enter Nigerian army, and they are in the training. The House of Rep Speaker, former, said so. I want you to understand what is actually going on in Nigeria. A lot of people, I don't know what is wrong with us. A lot of people are not settled. Let me use the word. They are not settled to understanding what is actually going on. Now, that takes me back to what the story I just told you the first time, how a teenage girl her hand was cut off because she refused a marriage proposal. Deborah was stoned to death, a Christian, because she questioned why they are putting religious things on their academic WhatsApp group, and she was burned to death. She was burned to death, and lawyers, 44 lawyers, stood and said, I am going to support those who kill the person. So if you think that these people are not in the NBA, in the judiciary, everywhere has been hijacked. I want you to think like a human being. Now, what happened? A 15-year-old girl, Endurance Sabon, has been brutally attacked and her hand cut after her family rejected a forced marriage proposal by suspected Fulani herdsmen in Goska community. Kanenkon Ward, Kafachan, Jama local government area of Kaduna State. This is a part of Kaduna State where Christians are mostly persecuted. It's on the record. A family member who spoke with our reporters on Saturday said the attackers had earlier approached Endurance's mother while she was working on the family farm. They had demanded that the teenager be given to them in marriage. According to the account, the incident occurred while Endurance, her mother, and other relatives were farming at about 10 a.m. on Friday when the men approached them, praising the girl's beauty and insisting she should be married to one of them. So this is what happened. The parents refused. And what happened again is that these people came back. They brutally beat the girl and cut off her hands for rejecting a marriage proposal. Nothing is going to happen. Absolutely nothing. Why? The principles of infiltration is in effect now. Those who are supposed to say it are the ones doing it. Minister of Defense, Defense Ministries, NDA. This is a collusion in the voice of T.Y. Tanjuma. T.Y. Tanjuma said it is a collusion, that these people are colluding with their forces. He used the word because T.Y. Tanjuma, maybe he did not know about the principles of war that these people are using. So when T.Y. Tanjuma said these people are colluding, the terrorists collude with their forces. No, it's a principles of infiltration. They have been using it everywhere. They use it in Afghanistan. They spent 10 years infiltrating their military, and their military surrendered to them because their military was part of Taliban. The only solution to this is this. if Nigeria could be returned to the way it is. Like the list of something that could happen would be regional government. And when I talk of regional government, you see like Benue, Plateau State should be a region, have their own security, manage their own resources, and protect themselves. Like there could be up to 12 regions in Nigeria. That is the only thing, the least thing. Then, if not that, this country is due for division. According to Elon Musk, there is no educated person who could say that a nation is a place where people that doesn't have one culture, not one ideology, not one, behavioral pattern and everything, and you call them a nation. Say no sensible human being can say that. But in Nigeria, every now and then they say that we are nation, we are nation. What kind of nation are we? Take your dictionary and understand the meaning of nation. We are not, and we can never be. I'm not saying that there is a part that is better than other, no. When you mix some chemicals that is not compatible, it will blow up. That is exactly what is going on in Nigeria. I am Okocha myself. I'm a conflict and insecurity reporter. Do well to let me know what you think about this. See you on my next video.
Thank you so much, my brother. And there's a last video I want to show us, which I consider to be very important. The history of all these things happening both in the Middle East and this Islamic invasion. I want you to listen to Bridget. This lady knows a lot. She is a Lebanese. Bridget Gabriel explains the history of Islam in 8 minutes. The history of Islam 600. She explains in 8 minutes. So this 8 minutes will worth your while. Just pay attention as I play it from the start.
In order for you to understand why Western civilization is very different than the Islamic world, you need to understand the history of Islam. When Prophet Muhammad supposedly revealed his revelation from the angel Gabriel that he is supposed to be the last of the prophets in the early 600s, he started preaching in his own city, Mecca. He tried to recruit friends and followers to be able to spread his religion. And he tried for 12 years and failed. And after 12 years, he was only able to recruit his immediate family and friends. So he decided, if I go to Medina, which was the Jewish hub of Arabia, the business hub where the Jews lived, if I go there and preach my religion to them, if they accept me, that will buy me respect and stature between my own people, and they will accept me. So Prophet Muhammad started borrowing a lot from the Old Testament to make his religion more palpable to the Jews, to make it a lot similar. This is why you see a lot of similarities between Judaism and Islam. For example, Jews don't eat pigs, Muslims don't eat pigs. Jews pray a few times a day, Muslims pray a few times a day. Jews fast on Yom Kippur, Muslims fast on Ramadan. And this is why you started seeing a lot of good writing in the beginning of the Quran when Prophet Muhammad was saying all the good things about the people of the book. He took his message and went to Medina trying to recruit the Jews, talking about the people of the book, talking about how similar the two religions are. When they refused to accept him and follow him as the last of the prophet, that's when he turned against them and started killing them and started expelling them. That's when Islam went from a spiritual movement for the first 12 years of Islam into a political movement cloaked in religion after the year of the Hijrah, after Muhammad went to Medina and the Jews did not accept him. He became a military warrior and declared war on them and started expelling them. Jews and Christians became dhimmi, or second-class citizens. They were only allowed to stay alive and not be killed only by paying the jizya, or the protection tax. So they had a choice: convert to Islam, or if you want to stay alive, you have to pay the jizya or protection tax, living as dhimmi in the Islamic nation. Christians and Jews could not ring church bells. Jews could not blow the shofar. Christians could not ring church bells. They could not pray publicly. Christians and Jews could not gather together and build new churches or new temples. And the way they paid the jizya or the protection tax was in a monthly ceremony where they would get together downtown and the Jew would kneel on his knee and hand his goods to the mullah, who would take the goods as the price for buying the protection. And in many areas, Jews and Christians were given necklaces to wear as a receipt that they paid their jizya or their protection tax. Jews considered najis under Islam. Najis is bodily fluid. Najis is garbage. Najis is dogs. Najis is dirty. So Christians and Jews were treated as second-class citizens. Islam continued to grow. As Islam grew, more people became dhimmi or second-class citizens. Jews and Christians were given identifiable clothing. The yellow star, which was given to the Jews that most people think is a German invention. It was actually an Islamic invention in the 9th century in Iraq by the second Khalif al-Mutawakkil of Iraq, who invented the yellow star for the Jews to be identified as they walked down the street. Because Jews were considered najis, if a Muslim man or a Jew walked on the same side of the street, the Jew had to cross the other side so the Muslim man can walk, so he's not dirtied by the filth of the Jew. Christians were given the zunnar, the belt, which most of you men are wearing right now. That was an Islamic invention for the Christians. Islam continued to grow. They went all the way to Jerusalem. They conquered Jerusalem. Christians couldn't ring their church bells in Jerusalem. The Pope in Rome in 1090 told the Christians, how could you sit idly by and allow your brethren to suffer like this in the Holy Land? You need to go liberate the Christians. You need to go help the Christians. That's why the Crusaders were launched. The Crusaders were not launched because they just felt like waking up in the morning and going and converting a bunch of Muslims or beheading them. The Crusaders were launched to liberate Jerusalem. And they were able to liberate Jerusalem for less than 100 years before Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi, Saladin, took it back, and Jerusalem remained under Islamic control until 1967, when the State of Israel liberated Jerusalem, where Christians, Jews, and Muslims could pray under the same sky. The Crusaders continued fighting Islam, and for 300 years they tried and failed. And by the 1300s, the Crusaders disappeared because they could not win against Islam. Islam continued to expand. They went all the way to Central Europe. They went all the way to China. They went to India. They conquered Spain. They changed the name of Spain from Spain to Andalusia. And they started, as they advanced, as they conquered more nations, more people paid the jizya or the protection tax. And this is how the Islamic Empire grew. It went all the way until they was stopped at the gates of Vienna on 9/11. 9/11 is not a date that Osama bin Laden just picked out of a hat. 9/11 is a symbolic date in the Islamic calendar. By the 1600s, Islam had covered more of the earth's surface than the Roman Empire did at its peak. Between the 1600s and the 1800s, the Europeans were experiencing the European Industrial Revolution, where the Europeans were able to invent products on factory lines, where they are able to make money and sell products, which gave them the money to build a strong army in order to fight the Muslims. And that's how they were able to stop them at the gates of Vienna on 9/11. The Europeans started the pushback against Islam. They pushed them out of Europe. They pushed them out of all the way to the Middle East and North Africa. By 1924, the Islamic Empire ended. In 1924, the Islamic Caliphate ended in Turkey by President Ataturk, who was a secularist. He ended the Islamic Empire, and he gave women rights to vote. He gave women a right to an education, a right to work, a right to choose a husband. He forbid women from wearing the hijab. He forbid men from wearing the beard. The Muslims hate him so much that they consider him a Jewish agent, because they believe that his mother in her bloodline was Jewish, and that was the influence on Ataturk. By the time the Islamic Empire or the Islamic Caliphate or the Islamic State ended in 1924, the Islamic Caliphate had existed for 1400 years, and it ended less than 100 years ago. By the time the Islamic Caliphate ended in 1924, 270 million people around the world were killed by Islam. 270 million. And we didn't have weapons of mass destruction, and there was nuclear weapons. All of these people were killed, butchered by the sword.
Hey! Are you hearing it? All 270 million were butchered by the sword, not by atomic bomb. Butchered. This is the cruelty that Britain brought upon you in Nigeria. This is the massacre, the destruction that Joe Biden and Barack Obama, imported into America. This is the mayhem that the Prince and the Queen of England have allowed to infiltrate into the United Kingdom to ruin every one of you that are Christians and that are liberal. The word is enough for the wise. I leave you to think, and then when we call for freedom and revolution, keep quiet and support one Nigeria, and they will come for you. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. I'll see you by the grace of Chukwu Kabiama. Early this morning, I may not be able to come for Tutoma, and maybe in the afternoon, as the Lord would have it, because I have to overcome some challenges now. Please put me in your prayers. I may not be able to come live this morning. The Lord helping, I'll be live when I am able to round up what the challenges on hand. But victory is ours anyway. So probably see you in the afternoon by the grace of God. I love you all. Catch you follow.